Welcome to Meet the Press Now. I'm Kristen Welker. As Washington, U.S. allies, the Middle East, much of the world, and even some inside President Trump's own administration try to make sense of his stunning declaration that the U.S. intends to take over the Gaza Strip and transform it into the, quote, Riviera of the Middle East, which would mean locating 2 million Palestinians living there, likely by force. There has been swift global pushback, including from much of the Arab world, as well as from a bipartisan group of lawmakers on Capitol Hill, warning that the idea would be politically unpopular here at home, unworkable abroad, and disruptive to the delicate ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas, all while also potentially serving as a recruiting tool for terrorists. The president right now is speaking from the White House at a signing ceremony for an executive order which would ban transgender women from competing in women's sports. As of right now, he has not mentioned his plan for Gaza in these remarks. We are monitoring it, though, and we will bring you any news as it happens. But the Trump administration is publicly standing firm on the Gaza offer, seemingly daring other countries to come up with a better idea, while Republican leadership has been cautious to either embrace the president's commitments or avoid criticizing them.
The fact that nobody has a realistic solution, and he puts some very bold, fresh, new ideas out on the table, I don't think should be criticized in any way. I think it's going to bring the entire region to come with their own solutions if they don't like Mr. Trump's solutions.
I think this is a good development. We have to back Israel 100%. And so whatever form that takes, we're interested in having that discussion. But it was a surprising development, but I think it's one that we'll applaud. So.
There are a lot of ideas that are coming out to try and address what is clearly a crisis in our region. We'll see where it lands.
Now, we're also seeing attempts by Trump allies to reframe the president's comments, suggesting they should not be taken too literally. Case in point, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters this afternoon that the president is going to make a deal so U.S. taxpayers and U.S. troops aren't on the hook. But I want to play what the president said in his own words last night during a joint press conference alongside Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, who applauded the idea.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site, and get rid of the destroyed buildings. I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land. I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
He has a different idea. And I think it's worth paying attention to this. We're talking about it. He's exploring it with his people, with his staff. I think it's something that could change history, and it's worthwhile really pursuing this avenue.
Now, as we noted, the condemnation has been swift, particularly in the Arab world. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister put out a statement rejecting any attempts to displace Palestinian people, and the Palestinian Authority president, Mahmoud Abbas, called it a serious violation of international law, vowing the Palestinian people would not give up their land. And on Capitol Hill, Democrats and a few Republicans had some harsh words about the proposal.
That's insane. I can't think of a place on earth that would welcome American troops less and where any positive outcome is less likely. You can put me down as this is between offensive and insane. I mean, in terms of and dangerous and foolish.
I'm not supportive of having the American people pay to rebuild Gaza. I don't think that's our responsibility.
Absolutely dumb, stupid, and illegal. And the United States will not be invading Gaza. We will not be occupying Gaza. And for the Republican Party and Trump to run as the anti-war candidates to suddenly ask for war, shows you the level of hypocrisy and/or lack of leadership that is occurring at the White House.
Probably need some clarification on what exactly that means. He's a developer of resorts. I think he sees a good opportunity. But we need to, obviously, Gaza's not ours. It's sovereign as part of another country, right? It would seem to me to be an inappropriate use of U.S. troops.
The palpable sense of shock over the president's proposal comes after he campaigned on a more isolationist America First agenda while railing against American attempts at nation building because of the immense cost in, quote, blood and treasure. Take a look back.
It is not the duty of U.S. troops to solve ancient conflicts in faraway lands that many people have never even heard of.
We will keep America out of these ridiculous, horrible, and very, very stupid foreign wars against countries that you've never even heard of.
Look what's happening. You're getting involved. Here we go again with the Middle East. We spent $9 trillion, killed millions of people, including our side, their side, millions of people. $9 trillion. You know what we got? Nothing. Nothing.
After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens.
Joining me now is our team of reporters, NBC News senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell, who was in that news conference last night when the president made that announcement, NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel, NBC News chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles, and NBC News senior national security correspondent Courtney Kube is at the Pentagon for us. Kelly, let me start with you. You pressed the president repeatedly yesterday during that joint news conference with Prime Minister Netanyahu on specifically what his vision was for taking over Gaza. What were your key takeaways?
Well, it was striking that the president did not address the matter of the U.S. having any lawful ability to do this. And he did opine about the potential and the need to rethink what has been an intractable problem for decades. Sort of the vision of Donald Trump. The specifics and the particulars are where there are big questions. And today we saw how in the briefing, Caroline Leavitt, speaking on behalf of the president, talked about no commitment of U.S. troops, and yet it is hard to contemplate any way that the U.S. could have a development and rebuilding role without U.S. troops to as force protection and support for that kind of a mission. So that's a big question. Talking about not using taxpayer dollars, and yet the president very clearly said we would own it, we would take responsibility, we would do a series of things to improve the Gaza Strip, and so that's in conflict. So this was the president certainly as disruptor. The seriousness of the idea will be tested in time. Was he trying to extract something from other leaders in the region who have not been willing to take in Palestinians while their home is so under the destruction of this war? There are big questions, and the president was more about a bold suggestion than those specifics.
Kelly, just zooming out, and I go back to that montage that we just played. This is a president who has campaigned, quite frankly, since 2016 on an America First agenda, staying out of foreign wars. And yet we're seeing this shift where he's talking about taking over Greenland, the Panama Canal, and now Gaza. Can you take us inside some of your conversations with Trump allies, with White House officials? Are they surprised by this shift?
Well, certainly on matters like Greenland and Panama, they are talking in terms of what they see as the benefit to the United States in strategic terms. With this Gaza proposal, there was clearly surprise, and it is not completely unheard of because there have been some discussions publicly on the part of the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, for example, who talked about the potential of redevelopment of Gaza as a sort of a businessman, not as a statesman. But the president putting forward this idea in the way that he did, standing alongside Benjamin Netanyahu, who was supportive of further discussions, was really striking. It is not the America First that we have heard from Donald Trump for many years. It was America expanding in ways that we have not heard him talk about with the same kind of ferocity on the campaign trail. Now he is looking at ways to expand his influence and power power and to give the U.S. advantages in certain places. Certainly in Gaza, if there would be potential for rebuilding, there's also enormous risk, deep risk of what that could provoke.
Absolutely. Kelly, you had all the critical questions last night to the president. Richard, let me turn to you. I've been watching your reporting throughout the day. I know you've been in contact with world leaders. What has the reaction been from the region?
Well, there's been shock in the region. This is just 2 weeks into the Trump administration, and they're already seeing what people are describing as wild policies that are not based in U.S. foreign policy, American traditions. And as it's seen from the Middle East, it's important to sort of put on the clothing, get into the mentality of the region to understand that question. What the Middle East has just been watching since October 7th, when Hamas militants, thousands of them, stormed over the border and went on a killing and kidnapping spree. Since that moment, what people in the Middle East have been watching is a ferocious military campaign by Israel against Gaza, against Hamas, that has devastated the Gaza Strip, ripped up its infrastructure, with largely American weapons. And people have been in the region have been watching sort of billions of dollars in arms and that come in large chunks, another billion here, another billion there, another billion, to fund the Israeli military. Gazans were always concerned, and Middle Eastern officials were always concerned, that the ultimate objective of the war was to drive out the Palestinians from Gaza. I spoke to many Palestinians about this during the conflict. They said the only reason that the Israelis are bombing not just Hamas militants, but bombing apartment buildings, bombing apartment complexes, was to make the place unlivable so that it could be settled by Jewish settlers. Gazans already believed that. It was already a common theory going back, going all across the Middle East. I spoke to Egyptian officials who believed the very same thing, and that there was pressure early on Egypt to open its border with Gaza and allow Palestinians to go in there. And the Egyptians resisted it, knowing the history of the Middle East, that Palestinians don't generally go back to where they've come from. Refugees in this part of the world do not tend to return. People in the region also know the history of the Palestinian people. The Palestinians in Gaza ended up there because they were living in parts of territory that is now inside of Israel. And when Israel was created in 1948, there was a refugee exodus. Palestinians called it the Nakba, or the catastrophe. And people who were driven from their homes or left their homes ended up in Gaza. And now they see that President Trump is trying to push them out again and push them into other countries, namely Egypt and Jordan. And people say this is a non-starter. They don't want it. The Palestinians don't want to go. Egypt and Jordan don't want to take them in. And I've spoken to senior Arab officials who say that what Trump is proposing is tantamount to ethnic cleansing, and that it is against the whole sort of idea that one day there would be a Palestinian state, that you can't have a Palestinian state if you remove all of the people and send them into a diaspora.
Richard, that perspective and that history is just so important to our coverage. There are some potential immediate impacts, right? I mean, right now there is a very fragile ceasefire in place, given the background, the way in which the Arab world has viewed and the way that the entire region has viewed this conflict. Could this potentially jeopardize the very fragile ceasefire that's in place?
Absolutely, it could jeopardize the ceasefire, because this proposal is very unlikely to happen. It seems very unlikely that Jordan and Egypt are suddenly going to change their minds, take in 2 million Palestinians, that American troops are going to go there and oversee the reconstruction, that this will become an American-owned property devoid of Palestinians. This seems too far-fetched and too unlikely to actually happen. It's possible, but the perception in the region is that this probably won't happen. But the fact that he is saying this shows his intention. It shows what he believes should happen. And it shows that he believes the Palestinians, to a large degree, and not just Hamas, are responsible for October 7th, that they failed time and time again. They lived in a miserable place. They couldn't find peace with Israel, that this is ultimately all of their fault and that they should therefore lose their homeland and be separated into, sent off to other countries. So that doesn't establish a great deal of trust. It doesn't establish a great deal of or a basis on which to build this ceasefire. So it certainly has the potential of impacting a ceasefire, which already, Christian, is very shaky. They're already officials I'm speaking to in the Arab world and in Israel are worried that this ceasefire is going to face moments of breakdown when the fighting resumes and the attacks begin again. People expect that's going to happen, and now we just have President Trump saying that his solution is to depopulate Gaza Strip and turn it into some sort of Riviera for who he never quite laid out, but Palestinians certainly believe it won't be them.
Well, it's just incredible reporting, Richard, and I know everyone is watching with immense trepidation as that ceasefire continues to hold in a very fragile way, as you've just laid out. Ryan, let me turn to you now on Capitol Hill. I thought it was so fascinating to hear Republicans respond to try to very carefully talk about this extraordinary statement by President Trump. What are you hearing on Capitol Hill?
Kristen, you're wise to make that point, and somewhat of the whiplash that we're experiencing here on Capitol Hill. Our colleague Frank Thorpe was here as the news initially came out, and the kind of gut reaction he got from Republicans was one of trepidation, one of skepticism, one of downright opposition to this idea. And then as the news settled in and Republicans saw that this was something that Donald Trump was at least on some level committed to seeing to the next stage, they all of a sudden had a change of tune. Listen just to one example. This is Tom Tillis last night, right after the news came out, versus him today.
I haven't seen the firsthand account, but obviously that's not going to happen. I don't know under what circumstance it would make sense, even for Israel. Now, if Israel is asking for the United States to come in and provide some assistance to ensure that Hamas can never do again what they did, I'm in. But us taking over seems like a bit of a stretch.
I think he's right in suggesting that we need to have a clean slate. The reason I said a kink in the slinky, it may not work out the way he envisioned it or the way he discussed it at a press conference, but I think directionally he's on the right track.
So he went from saying this is something that's never going to happen to directionally he's on the right track. And kind of the way you saw Republicans find a place where they didn't have to be directly in opposition to Donald Trump today was to say things like, well, this is him just coming up with ideas, throwing things out there to see what could be a potential path forward. I think many of the Republicans up here today maybe are not saying this very specifically, but I think they are of the same mind that Richard Engel is, that this isn't a thing that's actually going to happen. So there's no real utility in standing up against Donald Trump and telling him it's a bad idea. Instead, they're trying to find some sort of softer landing place here where they don't have to fully endorse it, but at the same time try and present Trump as some sort of innovator who's looking for a new solution and a path forward in the region. But at the end of the day, this just isn't a real thing.
It's really remarkable to hear that sound from Senator Tillis. Ryan, thank you for bringing that to us. Courtney, let me turn to you now and take us inside the reaction inside the Pentagon. The idea, the very notion that the president would say he's not ruling out U.S. troops to try to take control of Gaza. What's the reaction been? What would that even look like?
Yeah, so, Kristen, you have to keep in mind that since October 7th and even before that, there has been a very steady line out of the Pentagon and the military that there will be no U.S. troops, no U.S. boots in Gaza. We have heard that time and time again. So when President Trump said this at the press conference last night, there were a lot of surprised people here in the Pentagon. And just to give you a sense of how something like this could work, if the president comes out and makes an announcement, for instance, of a deployment of troops to the border, for instance, generally by the time the president is announcing it, the Pentagon has already been planning for who would go and where and what they would do. There would be even potentially orders to those individuals about to be prepared to deploy. In this case for Gaza, we have been asking for 24 hours now. There have been no planning meetings. There have been no warning orders. There has been no actual official discussion about sending U.S. troops to Gaza in any capacity. And I say that because we often hear the line here, the Pentagon is a planning organization. If, in fact, this were something, a reality that was going to come to pass anytime soon, I am very confident the Pentagon would be planning for it. Now, all that said, they could turn and they could start planning. But as of now, no indication any U.S. troops are preparing to go to Gaza at this point, Kristen.
Well, that's really important reporting. Court, you also have some reporting about some planning to potentially withdraw some troops from Syria. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and so this story actually really makes that point, frankly, which is the military and the Pentagon have been listening to President Trump and advisors around him say for months that he thinks U.S. troops should leave Syria. He's even using at times some colorful language about why he thinks the U.S. should not be involved in Syria anymore. Well, as part of that, the Pentagon is trying to be proactive here about things, and they have begun putting together options. So if, in fact, the president or the national security advisor, whomever it is, comes to the Pentagon and says, show us some options for getting all troops out of Syria, they will have them ready. Officials telling us that they're looking at options for a 30-day, a 60-day, and a 90-day withdrawal, giving them options for how long it would take. And that the idea here is that the administration would be able to have more planning for this. We have heard from President Trump and many people around him many scathing comments about the withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. And the idea is the Pentagon wants to be very prepared if, in fact, the president gives them that order, Kristen.
Well, it's fantastic exclusive reporting. Courtney Kube, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks to Kelly O'Donnell, of course, Richard Engel, and Ryan Nobles.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.